Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. Now this one I'm super excited for, as I'm one of the first people in the world to be testing this brand new product from Functional Tennis out. I already know that it's going to be a game changer in the tennis industry, and I'm excited to be sharing my first impressions of it with you guys. Let's take a look. Welcome back. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Ashley Neves and I run the Tennis Mentor YouTube and Instagram accounts, providing tennis content for players, coaches and parents to get more out of the sport. Although I primarily create tennis lessons and tutorials to help you with your game, I'm also really lucky to be one of those that tests out some of the newest products on the tennis market, and this one I'm really excited for. So if you've seen my videos before, you might have seen that I've been using the tennis pointer, which is known as the wooden spoon. Now the tennis pointer is a sweet spot trainer. It allows you to practice your strokes with a tiny head size. I've used it a lot myself and with my players, and can say that it's a really good tool for improving your timing and your focus on watching the ball. However, if you saw my review video, you will know that it has a few downsides. Number one, because it's made out of wood, you don't get the same feel as you do with a tennis racket. And number two, and more importantly, you can only use it for a few minutes at a time. Because it's made out of wood, the impact doesn't feel great, and it's not going to be great for things like tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, or wrist injuries. So although it's a great product, its usage is very limited. This leads me on to Functional Tennis's new product. It's called the Saber, and it's the same concept as the tennis pointer. However, it's fixed all of those problems that it had before. So, massive thank you to Fabio from Functional Tennis for sending me this product as one of the first play testers. Let's check it out. It comes in this nice soft drawstring bag to keep it protected. And here it is. The Functional Tennis Saber. Now this is the mid version. I believe that this is going to come in a couple of weight options in the future, but I know that the tennis pointer was most popular in the mid version as its weight was most suitable for most adults. So the weight of this racket is 300 grams and its head size is a tiny 37 inches, which, to put into perspective, an average tennis racket these days is around 100 square inches. So this head size is tiny, which is going to make playing with it really challenging, but equally really rewarding. It's got a pretty cool paint job in this matte finish. It's got a kind of dark blue colour here with the Functional Tennis royal blue around the top. It's a proper racket. It's got real bumper strip, real strings, grommets. It is a beauty. And if you look at the bottom, it's a grip size 2. But yeah, it feels awesome in the hand. Let's take the packaging off. So here it is with the strings. I'm not sure what tension this is strung at, but I do know that it can be restrung if you have the badminton attachment for your stringing machine. During the process of finalising these, I know that Fabio had sent the prototype out to one of his playtesters, and actually it managed to get itself into the hands of Stan Wawrinka. Now when I saw this footage, I was amazed. And I'm going to share that footage with you right now. Just listen to the sound that this thing makes, and just look at how big Stan is hitting it. His backhand looks even more beautiful than normal. From seeing this, you can see a huge difference between the Saber and the previous iteration, the tennis pointer. The sound is incredible. Stan is able to hit his full strokes. What you lacked with the wooden spoon is any ability to hit with spin, but what amazed me was seeing Stan's last shot as he hit that slice backhand. Anyway, I'm going to take this to the tennis club. I'm going to give it a good play test, hit lots of balls with it, and get some of my players to try it out as well. So, I'll see you there. Just before I got hitting with the Saber, I put it alongside my normal 100 square inch racket. For reference, this is the prototype of the Headboom MP. You'll notice that there's a big jump in head size compared to a normal racket down to the Saber, and then another jump when it comes to using the tennis pointer. However, the head position for both the Saber and the tennis pointer are bang in the center of a standard adult racket's head, therefore in the middle of the sweet spot. I also got our main man Paul Skip to measure the swing weight of the Saber, which came in at a light 286.5 grams, meaning that it's going to be pretty manageable for all levels of adult player and any juniors that are using an adult sized racket. So what you're seeing here was my very first session with the Saber. I took it onto court with my slinger bag, hit some forehands, backhands and serves with it. I've actually hit with the Saber a number of times since this session, and I've also used it with some of my players, which I'll talk about shortly. Straight out of the bag, it was great fun to play with and surprisingly easy. I do generally time the ball pretty well from years of hitting tennis balls and years of coaching, but playing with a 37-inch head is a different ball game. I hit a couple of frames, but overall I hit really well. Comparing it to how I play with the tennis pointer, it's a lot easier. Just like using the tennis pointer, I really took a lot of care in watching the ball more than I usually do, but also making sure that my spacing was spot on. Even though it was easier to hit with, if I got my positioning slightly wrong or I wasn't tracking the ball well, I'd hit a shank, which is exactly what this tool is designed for. The best part of this tool is the fact that you can hit your shots properly. I felt like with the tennis pointer previously, I had to flatten out my swing, and I was even tempted to change my grip towards Eastern to make it easier. Whereas with the Saber, I was comfortable using my semi-Western grip straight away and using my normal swing path to create a little bit of topspin. With the head being so small, it's not easy to hit topspin, but you are able to impart some revolutions onto the ball. When it came to hitting more topspin and slice shots, that's when I did hit the frame more often. But after a few minutes, I was definitely timing the ball better and able to hit the sweet spot more often, meaning that if I was using my normal racket, I'd be getting much more out of each shot. What I was really impressed with was the way that the racket felt in my hand and the way that it felt when I was striking the ball. It felt very similar to a racket, so it didn't feel alien in my hands. And when you strike the ball, you get a surprisingly plush feel, and you actually get some power behind the shot as well. What's really good is the feedback that you get on each shot. When you hit a shot really clean, you can really feel it, and if you hit it slightly off, even if it doesn't hit the frame, you get that feedback straight away. This is even more apparent when it comes to serving, which in my opinion is the toughest shot to hit with the Saber. My first few serves, I rolled in and hit pretty slowly just to get my timing and my rhythm. And as I gradually increased the pace, I could really hear the difference between my clean shots and my not so clean shots. In fact, if you listen to these next 5 serves, you'll notice that the first 3 that weren't hit quite so well sound very different to the following 2 that were hit really, really cleanly. Having that audible feedback only adds to the way that the racket feels in your hand, and when you hit those clean ones, you just want to hit more and more. So in my opinion, it's going to be a great tool for you to take onto the tennis court. As you can see here, one of my players, Alexia, was really enjoying hitting with the Saber. Just as I did, she surprised herself with how well she hit the ball. And when it came to putting her normal racket back in her hand, she was watching the ball much better and hitting the ball cleaner. So in my opinion, the Saber is going to be a game changer in the tennis industry. If you're a tennis coach, it's a no-brainer. It's definitely a tool that you need to have in your tennis bag. I've used it with a number of players, and every single one of them loved using it and wanted to use it again in their next session. If you're a tennis player that takes your tennis seriously, again, it's something to think about putting into your kit bag. You can bring it out during the warm-up of every session, but also if you fancy a real challenge, you can try to play competitively with it. I've played a few points with it, but I'm thinking about making a video of me using it against one of my fellow coaches. So let me know in the comments below if that's something that you'd like to see. At time of filming this video, I don't know the exact price of the Saber. However, I'm going to put a link in the description below for you to go and check it out yourself. Thanks as always for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.